Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is a review of Christmas with the Campbells. I watched this on AMC Plus because AMC Plus, I have a subscription because they gave it to me to explore their lack of audio description. So I'm going to continue to review their films until they add audio description to it. I'm a blind film critic, so that's why audio description matters. It matters because it's accessibility, and accessibility matters. So Christmas with the Campbells is, I guess, their big December release, and it does not have audio description. Surprise, surprise, on AMC Plus, which has almost no audio description. They do have it. They have the capability. They've shown that you can watch audio description on the service. They just don't seem to really have a whole lot of desire to expand. So, this is also available on other platforms, but I didn't see it with audio description. So, I don't think anyone cares about Brittany Snow's movie here. But I thought it was okay. Let's get into it. So, what is Christmas with the Campbells? Well, it's actually kind of a charming concept. Brittany Snow plays this girl who has been jilted by her boyfriend, played deliciously by Alex Moffat, who is so obnoxious. Just exactly like the way he used to play some of his Saturday Night Live characters. It's like the exact same thing. He's just not likable at all. And you're like, why is she with him? This is a movie from the beginning where you meet these two and you're like, she's definitely not going to get back with him at the end of the film. This dude is not going to go through a transformation. This guy is meant, there's definitely somebody else that she's meant to be with. It's just like, how did you, anyway. She's been with him for a while, and she loves going to home for the holidays to be with his family, the Campbells, thus the title of the film, Christmas with the Campbells. It's really not that deep. And so she goes home, and mom and dad, who are played by Julia Duffy and George Wendt, always good to see them, good times. They want her there, even though they know their son broke up with her. They have such a bond. They're like connected to the ex-girlfriend. So he didn't go home for Christmas because he had something that was more important than spending time with his family for Christmas. So of course his parents are like, well, okay then, we're gonna take your ex-girlfriend. So it's kind of it's a cute premise. And later on, Justin Long comes in. I can't even explain that. Everything about Justin Long is why I hated the movie. Like that's it. Anytime he was on screen, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? He strolls in like he stumbled out of like an action film. Like he's got a deeper voice. And suddenly Justin Long is like super masculine, and he's like, yeah, so I came in, and I'm just like, what is Justin Long's performance? Did they mean to cast somebody else? And that dude like backed out at the last minute, and then Justin Long was like, I'm available. And they're like, yeah, but this was supposed to be John Cena. And he's like, I could try to be John Cena. Like, it just doesn't feel like Justin Long at all. He just feels so horribly miscast in his role. It's so weird. It's so weird to hear him trying to put on that, well, come on now, darling, let's go find ourselves somewhere to sit down and talk. And I'm like, what are you doing to your voice? You've played nerds in like everything. Like, you were consistently one of the nerdiest actors. Anyway, So, they properly use Alex Moffat to be obnoxious, but then they use Justin Long to play, I don't know, the son of Steven Seagal. I don't know how to describe his performance to you. It's really bizarre. It's a bizarre performance, but the rest of the film is nice. Like, I like the rest of the film. I think Brittany Snow is delightful in this, and made me go, why doesn't Brittany Snow do more things? Why couldn't she blow up after Pitch Perfect? You know, why couldn't we just get more Brittany Snow product? She definitely should be somebody who is making, like, at bare minimum, one of these Christmas films every year. So hopefully that's happening for her. I don't track annual Christmas films. I just watch some of them just to review them. As far as lack of audio description, compared to the last film, which actually sort of had long sequences where nobody was talking, and they had like these montages of trying to complete activities. The last AMC Plus film that I reviewed was Bar Fight, which I liked, but I would have liked more if it had had audio description. That one had sequences that were actually really hard to follow and to understand. Here, you're just sort of missing the setting and peripheral characters, because it's really hard to get to know people outside of sort of like the main 5 characters I just described. The rest of the characters just don't accumulate enough screen time in order to make that large of an impact on the film, and they become sort of like, whose voice is that? And you're trying to follow it and remember what their character name is. Stuff like that. It's sort of simple. The film relies a lot on this gimmick, this joke, that a girl would go home to her ex-boyfriends for Christmas without her ex-boyfriend. That is the joke, that's the gimmick. But then it doubles down by having the family actually welcoming her. They don't think it's weird. They're all about it. You know, they like her. I have a feeling they don't like their own kid. If they could swap. I mean, he gets really obnoxious towards the end of the film. When he does decide, all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, guess what? I'm coming home for Christmas. I mean, he's like, I don't know. Alex Moffat is just, he's brilliant at being obnoxious in this film. It's such a great performance, but he's so obnoxious. So, I feel kind of neutral on audio description here. Obviously, I believe we need it. But I think this is a film that could be watched if you needed to. If you wanted to, I think you can make it through. I made it through it and I enjoyed the film. It's a little bit more watchable than Bar Fight because it doesn't have these long, drawn-out sequences where something's happening. I still don't know because nobody's told me. It's not like I'm blind. It's not like I went out and found out. Hey, at the 47-minute mark, there's like about 2 minutes without dialogue. What happened there? I didn't do that. It's not my responsibility. That's why these things are reflected in grades. If I can't understand your film, if I miss large chunks of the film, that affects the grade. So it's not just like whether or not the overall film is good or bad. It's also, if you choose to run without audio description, you better damn well be a good film. But no, as far as the Christmas films that I've seen this year, yeah, I would have liked Bar Fight more if it had audio description, and I would like Christmas with the Campbells more if it had audio description. But one of those is going to get a slightly higher grade than the other because it was already just easier to follow, and relied a lot on obvious humor. So, not physical humor, just like good old-fashioned jokes. Just exactly what you're looking for from a holiday film. So, I'm going to go ahead and give Christmas with the Campbells a B. Like I said, this is available on AMC Plus. If you have that If you don't have it, that's cool. They have like 3 things that are audio described, so I'm just reviewing their things, trying to get it out there so that perhaps they consider adding more audio description. Eventually I'll hit something that I hate or is unwatchable. I know it. But I've only reviewed 2 other films so far. That's it for me today. I'm still trying to get to 100, so if you could please subscribe, that'd be great. Time is running out. This is the final month. I'm like 11 away. It's so sad how close I am and I can't get to 100 subscribers. So if you could tell your friends, that would be great. And I have a website, macthemovieguy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org. It'll let you know who is narrating your favorite films. That is it for me today. And I have to review something else for you guys now, but I will see you on the other side.